Ashley Gearing made history when she was just 12 years old. She became the youngest artist to enter Billboard's Hot Country Singles chart, breaking the record held by Brenda Lee. Ashley's version of Can You Hear Me When I Talk to You gave her national exposure by displaying a talent well beyond her years. Now, as part of Curb Records' growing roster, Kelly Lynn had a chance to visit with Ashley to talk about her new music.
I'm here today with Curb recording artist Ashley Gearing. It is so good to see you again.
Thank you. So good to see you.
It's always fun.
Yes.
So you have been a busy girl. You've got
very busy.
Single. 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that because you wrote that song, right?
Yes, I wrote the song. Actually, I wrote it when I was 16, a couple years ago, and it was one of the first songs that I had written after I signed my deal with Curb. I was living in Massachusetts at the time. I was, still going to high school. When I signed my record deal when I was 16, I said, I want to come down to Nashville so bad, but my high school experience is just really important to me. So let's wait till after I graduate to move down and, dive into the music scene that way. But I was still commuting back and forth. But my publisher, Drew Alexander from Curb Publishing, wanted to send songwriters up to my house in Massachusetts to kind of keep me writing, keep me in the flow. And he sent Tiffany Goss and Nicole Witt, 2 great songwriters, up to stay with me for the weekend. And we wrote some really great songs, but 5 More Minutes always stood out. And it was just something that I kind of put in my back pocket as my little special song. And then, the label heard it and they freaked out and they said, we got to release this. We got to let it known to the world.
You were actually out on radio tour, right?
I was.
You started playing it acoustically.
I was out on the radio tour. I mean, we had all the songs set for the show that I was going to play on, all the different shows that I would go on for the radio tour. And we had an iPod of all of the Ashley Gearing songs that were handed into the label, and the VP of promotion for Curb, Adrian Michaels, was listening on the airplane, and then all of a sudden he started crying. And he told me that he was on the plane and he just started crying, and the couple next to him was like looking at him and he was like, I'm just listening to this great song. And then he called me right after he got off the plane and was like, 5 more minutes. I don't care. You have to learn it, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'll work it up with my guitar. So that night in the hotel room, I worked it up. And then the next day we went to the radio stations and he was like, play it. And so I just played it on the guitar, and we just got such a great response everywhere we went. And every show that I go to, people always remember that song. So I guess that kind of told us something about what we needed to do. And I just got out of the studio with Byron Gallimore. He did an amazing job, just putting it all together, and just a great producer. So I'm excited for the world to hear it, and I don't know, it means a lot to me, so I hope it means just as much to the people listening to it.
Lately, you visited St. Jude.
Yes.
Talk about that, because I've heard from other artists, it's just a very touching experience.
St. Jude for me was a remarkable thing, a remarkable experience. I, went in really excited. I love children. I mean, I always tell people if I wasn't a singer, I want to be a kindergarten teacher, because I absolutely adore kids, and they're just such special human beings, and especially the kids at St. Jude. I expected to be sad. I expected to cry. I didn't really cry until, after all of it, just because it was so beautiful. It's so uplifting, and I want to do anything that I can to help St. Jude, because those kids in there aren't even sad. They're not, depressed. They're not, oh, poor me, I have cancer. They're optimistic. They are full of life, and it just makes you count your blessings, and it made me want to go home and hug my family. You know what I mean? It just is so moving, and I enjoyed being there so much, and just doing my little part that I can do as an artist, as a person. I just want to do the little bit that I can do to give back, because I am so lucky and need to use my voice to help others. I definitely believe that's one of my callings. So.
Oh, and that is true. You are great with children. You've been around mine and Missy Gallimore. I know you just love it. So for those people out there who haven't had the pleasure of meeting Ashley yet, she's as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. And when she sings, it's like angels. So make sure you check out Ashley's single. And that's 5 More Minutes. You can go to ashleygearing.com.
Yeah, we're going to put it on there. There's a few acoustic versions of me doing it out on the road on YouTube now. We've gotten amazing response. So, and hopefully it'll be on iTunes very soon. So look for 5 More Minutes. And on your radio, call and request it.
Absolutely, absolutely. On your local radio. It's always so good to see you. Thank you for talking to us today on Inside Music Row. I'm Kelly Lynn, talking to Ashley Gearing.
Ashley is still quite excited about being named in the Ones to Watch in 2011 feature from Country Weekly. There's still a lot more ahead, so don't go away. We'll catch up with a hot new bluegrass group that takes their comedy quite seriously. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Digger Cleverly. Stay tuned for Inside Music Row.